Hello, hi, and welcome to Empathic Fire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Scorpio in August 2020. Hello, Scorpio. How are you guys doing? I hope that you are doing well. All right, friends. How are you? I don't know my energy is like very mellow right now. I don't know if that's you. I don't know if that's me. Um, I would think it was. Being mellow is good, right? So if it's coming from you, if it's coming from me, Scorpio, it is appreciated. Now, anyway, welcome to August, Scorpio. Wherever you are in the world, I hope that you are safe, happy, and healthy at this time. Please continue to be engage in safe practices and precautions as we are still in the middle of a pandemic. If you're able to go out and enjoy the world, enjoy the weather, meet up with people, again, do so safely, and I'm always wishing you guys the best, okay? General announcements here before we get started. Scorpio, here on the channel, you will see me go live on August the 8th for Leo's birthday reading. There are live birthday sessions with me where I answer questions specifically for Leos during their birthday season. So if you have reason to want to cross watch on a Leo, or you just want to hang out and vibe with me in the chat, you're welcome to join. That will be at 7 p.m. on August the 8th. And a shout out to a subscriber, friend, and client of mine, Vanessa, who made me this lovely bracelet recently while she was on vacation and sent it to me. I really do appreciate it. Simply, guys, when you get love, you should give it out. So major shout out to Vanessa for taking her time and thinking of me while she, wanted to create something for me. That was really nice of her. So anyway, that's just energy exchange. So that's why we practice that here, okay? Let's see. Anything else? No, I don't think so. So let's go ahead with the regular spiel. Scorpio, I have shuffled off camera. That is your main spread there. Going to shuffle on camera now for your outcome and your overall energy. Once all the cards are out and they're lying face up on the table, that's when the reading begins. Timestamp is in the description box if you want to jump ahead. Also down there, you're going to find the information you need if you want to purchase a personal reading with me. If you have any questions before you place an order for a personal, just go ahead and email me at the same address and I will answer you as soon as I can. If you want to follow me on Instagram, that name is EmpathicFire Tarot. Boop. You will see it there, and you'll also see the link down in the description box. Currently over there, I'm interpreting oracle cards, doing some pick-a-card stuff, which I think I'm going to bring back probably next week, if not the week after that. So if you're interested in seeing me do stuff on that platform, and you want to maybe have like a semi-regular dose of Jay's tarot advice or oracle advice, feel free to drop me a follow on Instagram, okay? All right, guys, let's get into it. I'd like to see the outcome for Scorpio in August 2020. See, now it just got really warm in here. And the fan's going. I know the AC's on. That's interesting. Anyway, let's see the outcome for Scorpio in August 2020. Outcome for Scorpio in August 2020. Please show me. Wow. So your spread came out way easier than this. I can feel there's a little tenseness in the deck right now as we've gotten closer to the beginning of your reading. So that's interesting. Outcome for Scorpio, please show me. Oh boy. There it is. Okay, bottom of the deck is the overall energy. Oh no, that got knocked out of place. Okay, looks pretty okay. All right, guys. Let's see what came face down for you. Okay. And let's go ahead and get into the reading. Please show me where Scorpio is in August 2020. Please show me Scorpio in August 2020. Please show me. All right, we got there. A little hopping around, but mostly this is where you were. So let's get into it. Scorpio, coming into August, you come in with the energy of the Hanged Man, secondary major for Pisces, also sometimes associated with Cancer. Fellow water sign energy, so kind of in your wheelhouse, but I wouldn't say this is a fun time you're having. As you can see, we've got this tiger dangling upside down by his paw. I'm assuming most tigers don't want to be in that position, and that's kind of what I feel is going on for you, Scorpio. You really don't want to be in whatever position you're in. Some of you, you're having issues at work. Some of you are having issues in the home. And I think you are, it feels like spirit or the universe or what have you, what you believe in or don't believe in, is kind of got you in a timeout or has you in a standstill, in a frozen position. Okay. And I'm saying you, Scorpio, this is a general, it can go the other way. So let's open it up and say whoever this is, right? Whether it be you or someone else. Like, this is a struggle. Oftentimes when we see the hangman in the tarot, it's usually a human, and usually the human isn't looking so distressed. Like, a lot of times the human looks very calm, and I don't get a sense of calmness from this tiger. I mean, if you look at that one paw to the right, like, the claws are extended and the facial expression of the tiger is like distressed. And it's not like, looking at it, it doesn't look like its muscles are relaxed. It's not just hanging there. It's really like contorted or wrestling with. So I get the sense that whoever is in this energy, they are implored by the universe to be calm, to be patient, to, more traditionally with what we think of with the hangman, Scorpio, is to gain a bigger perspective or see things from a different viewpoint and kind of open your mind or expand your horizons, so to speak, right? And I don't get the sense that whoever is being asked to do that is really happy with that instruction, or advice, or the circumstances that are kind of forcing it on them, because this is a major arcana, and that usually tells that there's some type of cosmic oversight here. There's something that's being influenced by the powers that be, right? So even if you were to do everything in your power to not be in this position, you're still going to be somewhat in this position, right? So what's like a key way at this moment that is absolutely happening, despite what anyone wants, despite what anyone is trying to do, we are still in the middle of a pandemic. We are still in many places in the world in an economic crisis, not just here in the States, but other places are feeling the crunch or are going to have to do a lot of work to recuperate what has been lost, right? So even without us wishing or hoping or doing anything to counteract, nature itself has put humanity on a slight timeout, has it not? And I don't want to, I don't want to politicize anything, and I'm not interested in any theories, but like, that's literally what I see it as. I would be open in a real life conversation to hear other people's points, but from where I'm standing, and maybe from where you or someone else in the situation is standing, to Scorpio, it's like, it's out of our hands, to a certain extent. It really is out of our hands. So regardless of whether or to what extent you've been affected by the pandemic, it could be most strongly aligned with those events, but it doesn't have to be. But I'm just using that as like a real world example of how we all wish it wasn't here, but it's here. We all wish we weren't, social distancing and having to, do whatever, but that's what we have to do in order to get through the situation. And so that's kind of the name of the game with this starting position for you. You have to go through this period of suspension, go through this period of uncomfortable situations and circumstances, interminglings with people. Possibly for some of you, this is about facing, I wouldn't say demons, because I don't know that the hangman is necessarily interested in facing demons, but it is an invitation, again, to kind of widen your perspective. So maybe some of you thought you had no demons, and I don't think most Scorpios would think that. You guys are usually pretty well aware of what your issues are, even if you do ignore them. And maybe that's more what's coming to light. The things that you've tried to ignore are actually, banging on your door, knocking on your door, asking to be acknowledged. And that may or may not involve some type of enlightenment or some type of wisdom. But the name of the game with the Hangman, especially in this deck, especially with this depiction and how I'm feeling it today, is it is a struggle to get you to relax into this moment. The Hangman also would ask us to relinquish control, to let go of control dynamics or wishes to be influential in a situation. Not to say you should give up your personal power, that's not it, or your ability or your tendencies to want to make moves or make choices. No. Release control as in to release expectations, release control as in trying to manipulate or influence a situation, and just, sort of live in the now and kind of give the universe room to do its work, right? I don't know how that affects you. I don't know what area of your life we're talking about just yet, Scorpio, but that is a personal struggle that also might not be readily seen or recognized by other people around you. If someone else is going through that, you might not know that that's what they're going through. Because again, it's a general, it can go either way, right? Pardon me. Sorry about that. But I feel as though this particular Hangman in this deck is like, in your reading, is just like not too happy to be involved in that energy or invited into that experience of being withheld or asked to reflect, asked to open themselves up to a new perspective, see things from a different point of view. Like there's resistance. That's the main issue. There's resistance to that. And, we'll see what else happens. I don't want to quote unquote preach when I don't really know what else is going on. So, what else happens for Scorpio? Please show me. There's a lot of stagnant energy here. My God. There's a lot of like no movement, no nothing. And I think it will all, for the most part, lead back to that resistance. That's very interesting. Like, okay, I don't want to like trip anybody out and I don't want to trigger anybody, but it's kind of like, isn't it? Okay, I'm just using this as a visual example or just like something that I think is true. When you're put in a straitjacket, or when straitjackets were used, I don't even know if you can still use them. Wasn't it like the more you struggle, the tighter the belts and the straps and the restraints on the jacket become? So the more you struggle, the tighter and more confined you will feel. If you relax into it, release your wanting to move your body, to be in control of your body, the easier the experience would be. That's, again, still related to this Hangman. And as we come out further into your reading, like that's the visual that they're giving me, is like someone is struggling. And I'm not trying to trigger anyone. And I'm not also seeing this as like, oh, but a bunch of Scorpios are going to be hauled off in straitjackets. I don't see that. But like, it's that implication is that, because what eons ago, well, not eons ago, decades ago, why were people put into straitjackets? For their own good. The medical community or therapists and doctors restrain that man, restrain that woman because they're a danger to themselves or other people. So you literally your body has to be restricted in some type of way to keep you safe or to keep other people safe, right? That was the whole motivation. It is for the good of you and everyone else, yeah? Similar connotation here. This Hangman is good for you and other people, but you may be resistant to that. And because of your resistance, there isn't any movement where you might want it or someone else might want it. There's a lot of nothingness. Ooh, nothingness? That's very strong. Yeah, they're like, there's a lot of nothing. They're like, yep, a lot of nothing. Pardon me. So why do I say all this? Scorpio, you have a very delicate situation here. I don't know what it is. For some of you, it feels like kind of work and or family related. So, and or like the work and family may overlap. You might run a family business or be a part of a family business, or whatever. It's just, it feels very tight. Work and families, or both could be happening at the same time, even if there's no overlap. I think you or someone else is reviewing. Thank you. Finally, we got there. They're like right there. You or someone else is kind of reviewing what's happened recently or what's going on in the moment. A lot of reflection with the Four of Swords. Resting, lots of rest. I mean, you see this lion taking a big old nap, right? So there's a lot of rest. So some of you might be kind of lazy right now. You just might not be motivated to do much of anything. You may have slipped off of any type of, fitness routines you had. Maybe, you were going back to the gym or getting back on whatever, but then it's like sidelined. Like where there was a bit of momentum, I feel as though, again, it was like sidelined. Okay. So it feels like where plans, actions, schedules, whatever were about to be created, or some movement was about to happen, there was like a complete shutdown on that movement. Could be literal movement for some of you. Swords usually deals with mental capacity, but it also deals with speed, things being done quickly or things being done decisively, right? So it could have been, for some of you, you were going to move from one home to another, one place to another, or you were going to move jobs, change jobs, something like that. And it just didn't go that way. And because it didn't go that way, we have like this huge timeout. Again, compounded or filtering back to that hangman situation. This is another indication of that, or this is related to that. And what's going on here is like, for some of you, not all, this is like a review of what did happen and why things didn't go your way, or why things didn't go to plan. Let's say it that way. If not your way, things go to plan, okay? In some of your cases where you were looking for a job, this pandemic came along, or, it got to some of the worst parts of the pandemic, and the job that you were going to go to was suddenly not available to you. The offer was retracted, or the business shut down, or you had to shut, you were about to open up brick and mortar, say back in like January or February, and since then you just never could get it off the ground. There's something about a false start, or having like, as soon as you're able to move forward, you get pulled back. 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. It's something like that, okay? Again, I feel it's like heavily career for many of you, if not family, or people that you know, significant people that you know, of all types, friends, family, lovers, it doesn't really matter. And just like seeing progress go forward, but then immediately it's sort of like snatched back, and it's sort of like on this leash, oh, that's interesting. So you see the lion, right? And how it's got this crown on its head, and it's got this sword nearby, and it's all these flowers. This is not a lion in its natural habitat. This is like some type of performing animal is kind of what they give to me, right? So, I'm sure many of us have seen videos, or could even just think back to when we've gone and like seen an animal in the zoo, or gone and seen like animals perform, like let's say you went to Vegas and you saw Siegfried and Roy and all this other kind of stuff. It's all glamorous and stuff, but those animals are not natural to those habitats of being on stage, of being put in cages and gawked at by humans. Like that's not how they normally live. And so sometimes when you go to the zoo or you watch a documentary based on these animals, not just how they're treated, but just like what they're doing in their quote unquote off time. When they're not on stage, or when they're not performing tricks, or when they're not being fed, they're kind of just lazy. They're just like laying around. They're not doing anything. So that could also be what's going on, because you're not working, or you're not working the job that you want, or you're not living in the place that you had hoped to live, where you naturally want to live. Let's say you wanted to leave the city, or go to the city. Let's say it that way, because that's more of a problem considering the pandemic, right? You wanted to move to New York City. Let's just say that. from wherever you are in the world. I don't care. You could be living in Jersey City, for God's sakes. It's like, you know, a hop, skip, and a jump away. But the point is you wanted to live there. It would be hard to make that move in the middle of a pandemic, since at some point New York City was one of the biggest epicenters for infection of COVID-19 throughout this year, right? So the place that you wanted to move to, they're like, hey, we're gonna have to pause on this lease. We can't close the deal, and you're just sitting idly by in a cage, so to speak, wanting to be where you quote unquote feel you're naturally supposed to be. I hope that makes sense. So regardless of what's happening, you or whoever this is affecting is being told twice, get used to not being where you want to be. Get used to lack. I don't know why I'm using this tone. I guess we'll find out later. But it's like, yeah, get used to being out of control. Perhaps you or someone in your life, Scorpio, has been, really challenged by losing control or losing some type of ability to affect change in their life. Plans gone awry, plans that are scrapped, plans that are sidelined, hopes and dreams dashed. This could be perspective, because again, the Hanged Man is about gaining a new perspective. So this could be you or someone else looking at their situation and kicking rocks over it, or kicking the dirt, feeling like, you know, they're unlucky, feeling as if they have, you know, lost so much when maybe they haven't. I'm not here to challenge that, because people's perspectives are what they are, and I don't know the details. But what I'm feeling is the universe, my guides are kind of giving me this energy of get used to this, or be accustomed to this. There's something about releasing control, releasing the struggle, and the resistance will then get you what you want. It's something like that. And that's a hard lesson to learn. And I think that's kind of what this is, a lesson, okay? But somebody for now is just not feeling it. So let's see what else happens. Not feeling it, absolutely not. So what I'm seeing, that felt weird. I don't like that. Thank you. Go away. That was like a little bit of like a prickly point in my eye. I didn't like that. So I don't know if that means anything to any of you guys, if you've had issues with your eyes lately or your vision, I don't know. But that didn't feel great. So let's skip over that. Thank you very much. What else happens for Scorpio? Please show me. Got you. So I feel as though whoever is up here, it doesn't have to be you, Scorpio. You know, again, I don't know how many times I have to say this, but it does not have to be you. Whoever this person is, and there might be two energies here. I'm not 100% sure. Or they might blend. They might share this energy or mirror each other in some type of way. But there's someone here who's just like, no, I can't accept it this way. Or, you know, it's just like really trying their damnedest to make the best out of a bad situation, which is good. It's admirable for the most part. But I don't know. There's something here that says, that's not really where your energy, got it. That's not where your energy has to be. Thank you. The Magician. So the Magician is a very go-getter type of energy, a doer, not a follower, somebody who acts in their own behest and knows that they can co-create with the universe. They know how to manifest. These are all, you know, high vibe mentions of what the Magician is known for, what the Magician normally can accomplish. And I feel that's there. But the caution, like I said, is that there is this influence and control that is missed here, that is missed as in like remissed, maybe. I'm not sure which word is correct. But lacking. Somebody wants it and they don't have it. But they still have this drive within them to be influential, to be a creator. And again, this is like it's like a fine line of difference between being high vibe and being like a little low vibe, if I'm honest. And what it feels like here is like, despite what the universe, God, whatever you believe in or don't believe in, spirit, Buddha, whatever, is telling you, you still fight against this release. Let us, whatever, your guides, your angels, your personal Lord and Savior, whoever, let us take the wheel here. Let us take some of the burden or the worry off of you. Or accept, maybe that's another thing, or accept that this is not actually a setback. This is actually a staging, a setting you up for something better down the road. You may have had your heart set on living in New York City, but, due to us giving the world a pandemic, we're trying to show you that's not where you need to be, at least not right now. And someone's just like, but I know better. And that's kind of the low vibe. And I'm not saying you or anybody else is exclusively low vibe, but this is how I'm seeing this. This person, this energy is continually going back to the drawing board, trying different approaches, trying different alchemic combinations to get the same result that they have been barred from. The same result that I've wanted is to live here. The same result that I've wanted is to work this job. The same result that I've wanted is to have this kind of relationship or this type of connection in my life. I've wanted to reconcile with my estranged parents or my estranged relatives, or, I've tried my best to get this person to understand my point of view, except whatever it is, the same result is desired. Pardon me. And then this person is trying different formulas, different combinations of actions to get that result. Now, that is different than that, cliche thing of doing the same thing and expecting different results. It's kind of the opposite. This person is doing different things and expecting the same results. And it's weird, and that's so interesting. And I think not that what the result, it's mostly time is what it feels like. It could be for some out there that the result that you desire, to live where you want to live, to have the job you want to have, to secure some type of friendship or connection, or, meet up with someone that you haven't seen in a long time, again, like an estranged relative or something like that. That might not be what you need right now. In other cases, you don't need that at all. And the universe is trying to show you that. But again, the tendency of the magician... Oh, by the way, this is a secondary major arcana for Gemini and Virgo. You could be dealing with either of those signs, but you don't have to be. But the thing about the magician that is one of its shortcomings is hubris, is ego, is thinking that I'm only saying he because it's traditionally a male. This could be a female, so please don't hold on to gender. Is that this person believes they know best, or they become so fixated on the result that they have to run the different experiments, run the different formulas, put together an amalgamation of steps or processes, I guess, to make that result a reality, right? So if you want that dream job, working for whatever company, and that company is struggling at this time where they put a halt on they put a freeze on hiring because, again, of this pandemic, or even if it's not the pandemic, they're prioritizing other elements of their business. And so the area that you wanted to work in is not really seeing traction. You're like, okay, well, let me apply to the other area. And then once I'm in the door, maybe I could then do lateral transitions once I'm there. You apply for for the job, but you don't get it. And so now you're a rejected a potential hire, instead of waiting for that true job position to open up and you could submit your resume at that time. Does that make sense? It's like forcing the issue. Again, with the straitjacket, the more you struggle, the tighter the restraint, and the more you're not going to be happy with what you have. So someone here has to release, let go, get into the vibe of either living in the current moment, or it could be that. Could be that. There is a potential because the Magician is here, and I did say this about time, and these are two paused energies. The Magician is very future thinking, future oriented, right? Mercurial influence here. Mercury, the planet of Mercury, is always like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps ahead, right? It's that thinking planet, the planet of thought and communication, and exercising, you know, that brain muscle. And really, I find Mercury can be, it's not the most visionary planet, but it is. It certainly has an eye on the future and plot points how to get from A to B to C, okay? I think that is kind of what's being, you know, slap on the wrist by the universe, like, stop doing that. I apologize, Scorpio. Hold on. More ice came out of that than what I thought. And I'm like super thirsty while doing your reading. This is interesting. Anyway. The plot points, right? I think that's like what the universe is like, stop that. For right now, don't worry about that. Could be because, you know, they've got something in the bag for you. Or whoever this is. It doesn't have to be you, okay? So far, so good, you know? Because I don't feel all of this together is the worst thing in the world. Again, perspective is one thing. I'm the outside person. It doesn't feel like your life is on the line. No offense to anybody. It doesn't feel like dire straits. It might feel that way subjectively, but from the outside perspective, and maybe that's because I'm the one who's giving the message to just cool out, relax, don't resist, okay? Don't fight against this. Get into it, okay? Because again, and that's a vicious, going quickly back before we move forward, the Hangman in this deck, that tiger, vicious, ferocious animal, very, very, very deadly, right? Very powerful, and to be rendered helpless, that could, from the tiger's perspective, that's an emergency. From the person standing outside watching the tiger dangle there, I can see it's uncomfortable, but I don't relate as the outside person. I don't relate to feeling the danger, but because of this animal's instincts, because of its natural inclinations and ways of operation, it feels like a do or die situation, hence the struggle, hence the resistance, okay? So someone who is normally so go, 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 so in control of themselves, in control of their lives, possibly in terms of business, is sort of like a shark, is sort of known to be a very powerful, domineering force, has been rendered helpless or less powerful. And that's alarming to this person. That's alarming to you or whoever this is, okay? So what else happens for Scorpio? Please show me. Yes. Wow. All right. Now quickly, I got the word competition. What does that mean? Competition as in like your competition is here on this bottom row. The person that you are at odds with, the person who is your counterpart, like again, competition. So like if you were like if this was like, you know, Hell's Kitchen or something like that, this is the red team, this is the blue team, or something like that, or any competition show, it's like the other team, the other person who is just as vested or interested in the prize or wants to obtain the prize like you, okay? Interesting. So if this is your competition, we're going to go with that for the start. What happens here? This is more careful. This is okay, okay. Wow. Okay. That's interesting. Two things. Okay, so competition, then also trap or entrapment. Ensnared. Okay. Wow. Four of Pentacles. Interesting. Now here it's getting a little juicy now. So Four of Pentacles. What I see here, you see this person. You see all these tools she's carrying, all this like, you know, fabric and stuff. It's like, did this Four of Pentacles set a trap for the Hanged Man? Did this person use their tools, their resources to spring a trap on the hangman? I don't know what side of the story you're on, Scorpio. You might not even be involved, by the way. This could be something going on with people that you know mutually. This could be like two friends going at it, two relatives going at it, something like that. And I'm not necessarily sensing like going at it like fisticuffs or like, it's really rah rah, but I do get the sense like this person up here has been disarmed in some type of way, and they're resistant to that. They are upset about that. They are, in some cases, infuriated by that, and they're trying their best to get out of the trap. Like I said, this hanged position. But the universe, I'm telling you in this reading, is kind of like, just let it go. Or just like relax and let go of the control issues. Something about control and being tight and having masterful moves is up here, and there's like a clever undermining energy down here. And I'm not saying that that's good or bad, but I gotta tell you that from the universe's perspective, this is kind of what both sides need to ease into. Could be a transition of power in some cases, where if this was a family situation, this could have been the dominant figure within the family. This could have been the head of the house. This could have been the patriarch or the matriarch of the family, like a grandparent, and they are having to relinquish control, relinquish their position as the leader because simply they're older. And not to say old people should be disregarded, not to say that older people should be ignored. No, that's not what I'm saying. But you can't expect to be in your 60s, 70s, or 80s and still, quote unquote, know what's best or still have the same impactful voice all the time. I get the sense that up here, someone is just like, I had this expectation. This is what I wanted to do. And someone down here, in some cases, sprung a trap on me that got me tied up in something that I'm trying to resist. Now, what this whole spring a trap, I'm really only saying that because of the artwork. Because if you look at the Hanged Man, what he's tied with on his little paw, well, his big paw, I should say, is like this red string, and there's like this silhouette of like poles. Like it's a very like primitive trap. And then you've got this woman over here in the Four of Pentacles carrying all kinds of tools with like fabrics and possible ribbons or whatever. I just get the sense that there is a potential that somebody purposely laid out some bait or purposely entrapped a person, or the way that they're behaving. It doesn't even have to be, I caught you. It doesn't have to be, aha. It doesn't have to be, now I've got you and you're at my mercy. It doesn't have to be that. But it could literally be just because this person is acting in a certain position, it kind of boxes this person in. Their change of behavior or the way that they're showing up in the situation kind of puts that person into a predicament. Something like that. Now, that's competition. Oh my God, I can't believe him. That's competition. That is, in some cases it is a little underhanded, but in most cases it's not underhanded. It just is the way it was meant to unfold. And that might not feel good to you for me to say that, but that really is what the message is that they're telling me. This Four of Pentacles is also, regardless of whether this person is a competitor of yours or someone that you know personally or someone that you're close with, it doesn't really matter the relationship that you share with this person or they share with you. But this is a reserved energy. Similar to the Four of Swords, it is in some senses withheld or holding back, restriction, but because it's pentacles, it's like wise restriction. Because again, with the Four of Swords, you're meant to reflect, you're meant to, gain, not perspective, but certainly reconstruct a plan, which is helpful to the magician. But like I told you, that magician is sort of reactionary and is sort of acting, well, I still want the same result, so let me try a different approach. And the Four of Swords might be like, no, change your result, and then maybe things will change, something like that. I don't know. But the Four of Pentacles, again, is withheld and is about restriction. But I think it's like wise because it's dealing with pentacles, right? And pentacles represent things of value, money, time, energy, effort, even food, things in this world that we need to survive. Yes. And so that could be why this feels like a little underhanded, or it feels like a competition, because someone is thinking about, what do I need to survive? And what is the best outlook for me in terms of survival? What do I have to do to get myself to a better situation? Yeah. This is okay. This is totally shady, but I'm going to use it just to illustrate the point. If this was a generational thing, and this top line is an older generation, parents or grandparents or something like that, and there isn't, I said that earlier in your reading, there could be an overlap of business and personal life, right? This could be, wow. It on its face, it is shady as fuck. But it's kind of like, again, this is what's supposed to happen. I don't know why I have to keep saying that. And that's not for everybody, and everybody's not going to believe in that or be happy that I said that. But that's kind of the vibe that they're giving me. So let's say this older generation has property, has something of value, right? That they own or that they've invested in, and, you know, they're getting to that point in their life where they have to designate what happens once they leave this earth, right? Once they pass away. This could be a child or a grandparent, or excuse me, grandchild or something like that, going to this older person, springing a trap again because of the artwork, and saying, hey grandma, hey grandpa, so when this happens, here's what I think you should do with your money, with your property, with your businesses, with your investments. Here's what I think you should do in terms of, you know, the inheritance that you're going to bestow upon the family. And I don't see, given here, I don't see that this person is saying, give it all to me. I don't think that this person is saying, give me sole control. I think this person is saying, look out for me. It's kind of shady. It could go to those points of someone saying, give it all to me, screw my brothers and sisters, screw my other, you know, my cousins and everything like that, only put me as the beneficiary on your life insurance policies, whatever. And again, that's a fucking trap, right? That could be what has happened in some of your situations. And again, that's kind of smart for this person. It serves them, okay? As underhanded and shady and just like not good vibe that is, that serves this person. And again, I have to keep saying this. They will not let me stop saying it. That's what it's supposed to be. So your reading, Scorpio, might seem kind of negative and seem like a downer. But in the grand scheme of things, that kind of doesn't matter to the universe, you know, because sometimes in life, and that's just general, we have to lose, we have to suffer, we have to go through bad situations. It was supposed to be that so that we could be taken to the place where we are given rewards, or that we see an improvement in the situation, or someone has to do a bad deed, possibly in this situation, maybe, who knows, but somebody has to do a bad deed so that they can later be punished or later learn a karmic lesson, right? So if this is someone who schemed in a competitive way, if this is someone who schemed in a selfish way and conned someone out of something of value, because again, it's pentacles, right? Con someone out of something of value, and that person becomes resistant, and the more they resist, the more it looks bad for them, whatever. That, in this reading, this is not like the rest of your life. This is just a fragment of a story, of a small fragment of your entire trajectory, right? So who knows if it's yet tomorrow or 20 years from now that this person won't get some comeuppance. Who knows? So that's why I have to keep saying it's supposed to be this way. And I feel I'm speaking to the experience of the person who wants control, who wants to fight against this, who wants a certain result and is trying to get the same result by doing different ways, trying to find different approaches to get there, and they won't be able to. So, now, further information, please. 4 Pentacles. I just picked this up, so I guess I'm correct. Am I right? Yes. They're like, yep, that's good. So, further information about this person. Page of Cups energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Could be dealing with another water sign. Could be you. Could be someone else. I don't know. Zodiac sign notwithstanding. But the bigger part of this, and I have to say this, you're the 8th sign that I do during the monthly series. I go in order for the monthlies, right? Page of Cups and pages in general have been coming up. Not a lot of knights, not a lot of kings and queens have come out this month. A lot of new energy is here. Meaning, people are acting in ways that they've never acted before. People are showing up in ways that might make them seem naive or innocent or Okay, so like they're giving me this vibe here that this person has a very valuable, interesting. I wanted to say viable, but also valuable. Clearly, I said it. So viable and valuable position or story to tell. And that could be why I'm saying this person down here has sprung a trap, but it doesn't feel like a trap, or it doesn't feel overly vindictive. It might come off that way to other people, but where this person comes from, this Page of Cups, is really like, no, for realsies. I'm not, it's like, I'm sensing someone here who has a story to tell that seems unbelievable. But when they tell that story, possibly that's why this is going on up here, that this person has been put on a cosmic timeout, or this person is being told to stop what you're doing and reflect and let go of control and all that kind of stuff. There's like a weird power dynamic between these both of these sides, because I did use that word before, competition, right? So it feels like potentially, oh man, that's dramatic. Hold on. I apologize for all the drinking of water and the ice being chewed. I apologize. I'm sure most of you are like, I didn't come here for ASMR. I got you. But what I'm sensing here, and I'm just using this for illustrative purposes. It does not have to be this exact way, but just pick the points out that kind of make sense to you. What I'm sensing here is almost like a blackmail situation, okay? Where this person down here, Four of Pentacles, Page of Cups, they have dirt on this person up here, possibly. They have information or an experience with this person up here that, were it to come to light, it would destroy this person, hence them trying to struggle and regain control, and the universe is saying, let go of control. This person up here, because it's a fearsome animal, the tiger, and a lion. I almost forgot about the lion. 2 times. 2 of the biggest, most fearsome animals in the wild kingdom that can hurt you, that can kill you. And I'm sure this primate is no slouch either, because some primates are pretty fucking dangerous too, right? So I get the sense that this person over here could be an older person, or just, doesn't matter their age, someone who has had authority for so long, and now they're being put in a predicament where their power is being usurped, taken away from them, or it doesn't do them any good. They can't wiggle out of a situation by roaring or flashing their fangs or clawing at something. They can't fight the way they used to fight. They can't use the same tricks that they used to use. And possibly the tricks they used to use were against this person down here, who now has got you. Possibly now, I got you. I've put you in a predicament, or the predicament that you're in has now revealed your true self, right? So I'm getting senses of like narcissism, abuse. I'm getting all types of abuse, mental abuse, physical abuse, financial abuse, since there's these pentacles. This 4 pentacles is striking me very strongly because, look, going back here, she's carrying also jewelry in her hand, right? And whatever tool she has with that. Oh, bird. Birds are messengers. Birds are also, spirit animals as well, but they also equal some type of insight, some type of wisdom. And I think I did use that word, that it was wise for this person to act this way. But anyway, this person is carrying off a bunch of valuables away from, in the background, some type of town or village. So someone is walking away with cash, money, resources, valuables. that may have belonged to someone else. That could be someone could be paying somebody could be paying someone for their silence, because that's the other thing here. If you look at the Page of Cups, like I said, there's like this naive innocence thing going on, which is, thematic for many other signs. The pages have been popping up for the month of August, period. But you'll also notice that this Page of Cups is not looking at us, is turned away. So possibly being paid for their silence. Possibly saying, I'm going to go public with this unless you provide XYZ to me. And the Page of Cups, that's a big move for a Page of Cups to do. However, because it's partnered with this energy of wanting to preserve and secure things for the self, or secure things for this person's situation, they wouldn't be above it. It might break their heart. Oh God, now with the focus. It might break their heart to do it, to have to turn away, to have to, play this hand, so to speak, of blackmail. But I feel as though it must be done. And again, this is the way it was supposed to go. There's something karmic probably going to develop over this. I don't feel it's here in this reading, but if we were to go further and clarify, I feel like something speaking to karmic lessons or spiritual growth for either side would be coming up in the future, right? Final card in the main spread for you, Scorpio, is the Eight of Pentacles. Oh, wait, hold on. Anything else with the Page of Cups? Page of Cups. Page of Cups is also an apologetic energy. Someone who may do or say things and be sorry for it, or might show up with apologies. It's very interesting. Okay, I'm going to say one more final thing about like this, family business overlapping thing, or resources overlapping. What I'm sensing is maybe in a group of like siblings or cousins or something like that, this Page of Cups sprung their trap and secured some type of resources for themselves and to their fellow cousins or brothers and sisters or whatever it is. They might apologize to them. Like, I'm sorry that you saw me treat grandpa this way, or I'm sorry that you guys got caught up in the middle of this drama, but you don't know what See, again, with that turned away face, you don't know what I went through. You don't know all the details, and I'm not going to share it with you. Yes, because look also at the bottom, this cloudy, sooty, space of gray and black. This person, this Page of Cups, holds secrets, or just holds a lot of information and apologizes for not being forthright or as honest as maybe they should have been in the past, or for having to do what they've done or do what they're about to do. That's what that feels like. Now, final part of this main spread is the Eight of Pentacles. It's a double. They're like, it's a double. Okay, so this is a double of the Four of Pentacles, right? So where we are walking away with security, or we're taking what's valuable to us and we're walking away from a situation, or securing things in the moment, right? We see a doubling up. And the trajectory, or the walking, if we presume that this Page of Cups is walking, they would be walking further towards this Eight of Pentacles. So I get that this is a work in progress. I get that this is something that the Page of Cups, did I say Page of Pentacles? Page of Cups would be moving towards. They want to move towards stable, secure resources, finances, material things of value, okay? In some cases, going way, way back. This could have been like no offense, this could have been like a gold digger situation. No offense to anybody, but like literally they just showed me like an older gentleman in like a wheelchair, or like with a home nurse aide, and then like a very young wife who just like swindled him out of his money. And yeah, I don't know if that would work for everybody, but that's what that feels like. It feels like an older man who was very powerful has been undermined and taken for a fool by someone who's very young and played a trick on him, essentially. Okay. Eight of Pentacles shows the results of that trickery, that somebody has enough but possibly still wants more, because what comes after the Eight of Pentacles is the 9, and the 9 is when things start really getting sweet, and then the 10 is like the ultimate payoff in terms of like, you know, having a hand on your own financial stability or having enough, you know, cash in the bank. So this person is in a more comfortable position. Traditionally speaking, the Eight of Pentacles tends to work for what they're after, or shows a person being an apprentice. In this deck, I'm not feeling that too strongly. It feels very much like somebody is kind of counting their chips after the big score. You know what I mean? Somebody possibly is in reflection. Well, maybe not reflection, but admiring their handiwork. Okay? If this was going back to those where this is like business and it's not about like you know, any type of gold digger or undermining of someone's, you know, last will and testament kind of thing. This would be someone winning that competitive, you know, going for the job and securing it over somebody else who may have been more popular or more readily known in the community, in the industry. And here's this new kid on the block who shows up with a better sales pitch or something like that. And then they get their foot in the door, and they're about to start accruing their wealth or their security. You see what I mean? So it's not all bad. For some of you, this was like a heavy reading based on power games, power dynamics, manipulation. I wouldn't say interference, but certainly like the implementation of like unexpected pitfalls or unexpected traps. Like that type of interference. Like, I didn't expect you to use your sexual ways against me, Stephanie. And it's just like, Stephanie is like, of course I did. You know, and listen, that's somebody, you know, that's somebody's path in life. You know, I'm not calling you or whoever out and saying like, oh, you shouldn't be like that. Some people are put on this earth, in my estimation, in my belief, to be a temptress or to be a tempter, you know, because it's not just women. Men can do this too. How many women, go ahead and after you're done watching this video, just go ahead and YouTube some Dr. Phil clips of all these poor women who are sending all their money over to Africa or into South America or wherever because they met the man of their dreams, and he's gonna meet them next week and he cancels. Like, you know what I mean? It's not just men who are Jezebels and temptresses out here, okay? It is also men, okay? So there could be someone who's like reveling in their job well done of getting someone off of their money, or the job well done of rightfully and you know, skillfully securing something in place of someone else in terms of a competition, right? All's fair, you know, not in love and war, but you know, fair is fair. I got the job, you didn't. I secured this, you didn't. I was rewarded this and you weren't. And I don't think that necessarily this person is, for the most part, whoever's on this bottom line, I don't think that they're laughing in anyone's faces, for the most part. Some of them might be, because it's a page, right? Pages indicate immature energy, right? So energy that speaks to like sometimes childish behavior. So it's possible. But for the most part, I just think that this person is either seeing themselves overcome a very powerful figure in their life, like a David and Goliath kind of situation. Like, this person has power, access, abilities, money, whatever. They have so much on their side that would normally make it so that they quote unquote win, or that people believe them. And now down here you see someone who has gotten the best of this person, or has been able to turn their shitty hand into a winning hand. And no matter how you slice it, I don't know the details or the specifics of your situation, Scorpio, but this, again, it feels like this is what's supposed to happen. This is what the universe keeps, and my guides keep telling me. It's just like, this is what's supposed to happen. Sorry again with the ice. Yeah, this is what's supposed to happen. It's supposed to be this way for some reason. I don't know. And we're not doing an extended, so if you want to know, hit me up for a personal, okay? Now, the outcome for your reading, Scorpio, Three of Swords. I mean, that's kind of what we were just talking about, yeah? Three of Swords, you know, traditionally, a lot of readers will say third-party situation. For the most part, this hasn't felt like a romantic situation. It could be. This could be something going on between two partners, two spouses, two long-term boyfriend, girlfriends, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. It could be. But I haven't felt that story super strongly. If you want to take it that way and talk about, you know, the trap, that could be the trap. You've seen that, you know, and I hate to keep like pointing to like daytime TV and like, you know, cheesy Lifetime movies with like, you know, plots of gold diggers and stuff. But like literally the trap could have been, I'm going to send a woman after you. I'm going to pay a woman to seduce my husband to prove that he's a cheater and a philanderer. And that can happen. I'm pretty sure it has happened, especially in like marriages where there's like a prenup, and in the prenup it says you're going to be faithful, you're not going to cheat on me. The moment you cheat on me, I get half your shit. And then someone could have been very cold and calculated. I'm going to get a woman to seduce you, to get you to break her back out in the bedroom, and once that happens, I'm entitled to half your fortune. That could be the third party, and that's huge. That's so dramatic and so contrived, but still true to possibly someone's life, either now, in the past, or damn near in the future. You know that scheme has happened before. But if it's not yours, don't worry about it, and don't apply a third-party situation if it's not. More to the point, the Three of Swords is about heartbreak, is about unhappy endings, right? Or unhappy circumstances. Maybe not endings, but definitely turns of events that are displeasurable, okay? You see here these two birds stabbed through their bodies by the swords that are on the card. So this has been gut-wrenching, this situation. This has been very hurtful to people, possibly destroyed the lives of people, or livelihoods, I should say, of one or two people, or one or more people, I should say. Also, going back to this apologetic energy coming off of the Page of Cups, like, I didn't want to do this, but this is what I had to do to secure myself or secure things for my life. So that could be where the heartbreak comes in, because again, I get the sense of like someone turning to a peer, turning to someone who's equal, not to this person. The apology, if there is one, coming from the Page of Cups, it might not go towards this person up top, okay? It just might go to someone else who is in the situation, right? So there could be an apology to a child, since it is a Page of Cups. It could be apologies, well, shit. That's dicey. Could be, if this was like two partners and they have a child together, or children, it could be one side apologizes to the children for what I had to do to mommy or daddy. That's kind of weird. I don't know, I have no sense of the details, but I do get a sense of like, and that would make sense. You know, again, I'm just going to use this as an illustrative example. If there was abuse, and I did mention that word before, and there are all kinds of ways of abusing a person in a relationship. It doesn't have to be physical or psychological or emotional. You can financially abuse a person. I've talked about that a few times in videos over the years. But let's say it was that, or any type of abuse, right? It's traumatic as fuck to have to apologize to your own child for turning in or reporting their other parent for wrongdoings. And that has been documented for centuries, that, you know, for the sake of the children, for the sake of the person who's experiencing the abuse, for the sake of, I can't go down on this ship with you, you know, Salvatore, you know, for people like and why did I say that? Because like, I'm thinking of like mob wives or mob girlfriends or whatever, people who, you know, turn evidence against people who are involved in criminality. Not to say that's the story here, but that's a very easy example, for me at least, to show where you can have an intimate relationship with someone and they are a quote unquote a bad person, or someone who's like super manipulative or super whatever, right? And you live a life of luxury, or you live in the comforts of this person's bad doing, but eventually possibly somebody's, you know, moral compass started to spin around and they're like, you know what, I think you're just like whacking too many people. You're laundering way too much money, and especially if there are children involved, for the sake of my children, we got to get out of this lifestyle. Now that's a huge example. That's like a overly dramatic example, but I hope you get what I mean. So that Three of Swords, heartbreak, stabbing into the hearts of several people, not just two potentially, could come back to I'm sorry, daddy had to do this, mommy had to go away, mommy had to do this, we got to get away from daddy, whatever. Okay? Overall energy. Knight of Pentacles. So, that's funny, because I'm like, what the hell's he doing here? Because this energy just comes in and I'm like, for what? For what? I think it's to signal the slow pace of this, or the slow development of this entire situation. This is not something that developed over the past couple of weeks. It may have come to a head in a recent time period, but this whole story for most of you Scorpios is months and years long. Absolutely. And that could be why I'm like, why is this person here? Because it takes a long time for the Knight of Pentacles to get anywhere. But I also laugh because I put my eyes down here and the card right behind him is the Moon card. And the Moon card is, very generally speaking, it's about things that are unknown, secrecy, and just it's hard to make heads or tails of the Moon energy often when we talk about it in tarot. So Nine of Pentacles shows up to show the slow pace and the slow development of this entire story. This could have been years in the making. If this involves a court case, which I don't see any cards of court, I don't see any cards of justice or like going out to seek counsel, but it could happen. But let's say it did. And if it did, it probably didn't happen overnight. If you're going to start proceedings on someone to take over their, to file papers on them, or if you're telling grandpa to write you into the will, it's going to take a while for that stuff to become official. So the slow process of this story is definitely a factor, or definitely highlighted here with this Knight of Pentacles energy, Earth sign energy, by the way. Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn could be dealing with an Earth sign, but you don't have to be. Further, this is, I think this speaks to the bottom experience, the experience of the bottom row person, where it's about practical and methodical, measured movement towards safety, security, stability. The Nine of Pentacles doesn't go rushing in like the Knight of Swords or the Knight of Wands. It's not overly expressive like the Knight of Cups. It's very contained and controlled and measured, and often moves at such a pace that nobody can see that this person or this energy has done a damn thing, right? So this is very calculated. And it's all for the purpose of securing something for the future, of making sure things are taken care of down the line, okay? Yeah. Scorpio, we've gone on forever. Here you go, taking the title of the longest reading again. I always give you guys long readings. Not always, but you guys tend to get long readings from me. Anyway, that is your reading for August. If you liked it, the like button is down below. Go ahead and hit that for me. If you want to share how this reading resonated with you, go ahead and type it out in the comment section. You guys know I love to read that. Feel free to share the video if you think other people would enjoy this message or get something from it. And of course, if you have not subscribed, friends, go ahead and subscribe. Why not? Let's have fun. Let's be friends, yeah? Scorpio, I'll be back soon to do the mid-August readings next week on, next weekend. 8/8, you're going to see me here live on the channel for Leo, so if you want to hang out for a little while, say hi, that's totally cool. And yeah, if you want a personal reading, again, that information is down in the description box, okay? Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. Take care.